Good morning. The Indian markets witnessed a very volatile session yesterday. The markets opened on a slightly negative side and fell in excess of around 0.5% in the early morning trade. However, it later recovered at the end of the day and ended the day 0.3% higher. The IT and the tech stocks were the major gainers in yesterday's trade, while the realty sector was the loser of the day. The market is awaiting the result of the US FOMC meeting that is likely to be announcing the next federal action in later this evening's session. The next successor of the US Federal Reserve is likely to be announced after this meeting. The anticipation of the removal of the $85 billion bond buying program had made the global equity markets slightly on the volatile side. The consensus are that the bond buying program could be reduced by around $10 billion to $75 billion per month. With the Federal Reserve Chairman Ben Bernanke stepping down in January, the markets are keen to know who the next successor could be. After the withdrawal of nomination by Summers, the next successor could be Janet Yellen, who is seen as a successor to the Federal Reserve's existing monetary policy. The US markets ended on a marginal positive note yesterday. Microsoft has announced a $40 billion buyback program and has announced its dividend increase by 22% to 28 cents per share. This was seen as a positive for S&P, which rose later in the evening. Coming to the domestic news, in order to revive the fall in demand for the loans, the Reserve Bank of India and Finance Ministry are planning now to come out with a scheme which will help revive the housing and automobile industry and will provide very lower rates for loans. Also, to curb imports on imported gold jewelry, the government has increased the customs duty on imported jewelry and parts by an additional 5% to 15% yesterday. The Asian markets are traded in a mixed zone in the early morning trade, while the Singapore Nifty is down by 13 points in the early morning session. The Indian markets are expected to be sideways for today's session. The major resistance and support levels for Sensex comes around the level of 20028 and 19816 levels, while the major resistance and support levels for Nifty comes around the level of 5922 and 5855 levels. Thank you very much and happy investing.